Tottenham 2, Manchester City 2, Tottenham Hotspur rescue a point from this Premier League match, but at what cost? Welcome in to Top the Perch. I am your host, as always, Nick Burt. Again, like I said, rescue a point, but at what cost? Honestly, the first half was worse than dreadful. It was so bad. This was Tottenham Hotspur that we have seen for the past weeks, if we want to go months, at least in, league play. Given they're unbeatable on Tuesday and Wednesday nights in the Champions League, wasn't sure what we were going to see from Tottenham Hotspur today, especially playing against their, of course, biggest boogeyman team in Man City, a team that Tottenham Hotspur just somehow show up every time and at least take a point from each time. Didn't look like it was going to go that way early on. Like I said, first half, just absolute disaster. We get to the 11th minute. It was Xerxes taking a shot from outside the box. It goes bottom far corner. And it is 1-0 Manchester City. Just 11 minutes into this game. And it was like, okay, this is what we're going to do again, isn't it? So, a lot of questions. Frank played a back three today with two wing backs. So, basically a back five. Injuries still... Boy, oh boy, injuries are bad. At some point, you do have to question if it's just the club in general, because we can go through managers, we can go through backroom staffs, we can go through, trainers and all that stuff. And the injury problems still keep happening every single year. Every single year we get into, February, March, half our squad is gone because they're injured. Half of them of those injured have mysterious injuries that we have no recovery time for, and just who knows. Sometimes you just got to ask the question. We get to the 17th minute, Erling Haaland on the counterattack. It's basically him and Vicario with... he did have two defenders tailing him in, I believe, Romero and... Radu Dragusin, but he tries to chip Vicario. He did, but it lands on the top of the goal, goes out for a goal kick. That was, I for sure thought that was going to be 2-0 there, because Haaland usually finishes those. He doesn't that time. Xerxes comes close to his second goal in the 23rd minute. Just takes a shot that rings off the bar. 44th minute, terrible ball played by Dragusin. The ball finds his way to Semedo. Semedo finds the back of the net. It is 2-0 Manchester City just before we go into the halftime break. And for, of course, Semedo, it's his second time scoring against Tottenham in about 3 weeks, given he scored in his final game with Bournemouth just 3 weeks ago. And here we are now. He's scoring against Tottenham again. Going into the half, it's... Ring it up. We're done. Tab, please. Let's get this over with, because this is a unmitigated disaster. No other way to put it. I can't believe we're doing this again, because, of course, we're doing this again. Romero gets subbed off at halftime, which, whatever. It is what it is. Got to change something. Try anything, and we'll see where it goes. We get to the 53rd minute, though. I don't even... If it was a goal, it was a goal. If it wasn't, it wasn't. Dominic Solanke in the box, being challenged by Mark Guehi. Solanke is getting ready to take a shot, and in the build-up, it looks like he's offsides. They do take a look at that, and they say it's fine. But in the build-up of his shot, Guehi puts his foot out in front, and Solanke kicks his back calf, which has Guehi kick the ball, obviously. And the ball ends up in the back of the net for Tottenham Hotspur, and it is all of a sudden 2-1 in this game. Again, they went to a VAR check. First, I thought it was offsides, and then second, I thought it would be a foul in the build-up. Apparently not. I don't know what they saw there, but hey, I'm going to take it 2-1 Tottenham. It's okay. We'll figure it out. It is what it is. We get to the 70th minute. Conor Gallagher crosses the ball into the box. Solanke's there. He backheel scorpion kicks it into the back of the net. It's 2-2 Tottenham. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is as alive as it has been in what seems all season. I truly did not know what the hell happened there. I mean, it's just, what a goal. What a goal. I couldn't believe that actually went in the back of the net. Yes, Man City, Donnarumma does get a finger on it, which kind of deflects it in the back of the net. We're not gonna talk about that. Solanke, back heel scorpion kick into the back of the net. We are level at 2-2. And that's how we would finish out. Tottenham Hotspur would have a few more opportunities in this game. Nothing of note. But we end this game 2-2. Tottenham Hotspur get a kind of needed point. Obviously, it doesn't really help in the end, given, a point's a point. We're not going to complain. They move up to 14th. But, they are 9 points clear of 18th place West Ham right now. You look in front of them. Brighton's on 31. Bournemouth's on 33. Sunderland's on 33. Newcastle's on 33. And then it's Everton, Fulham in the 34s. And is it really worth going all the way up the table? Not really. This is what Tottenham Hotspur is dealing with right now. The biggest thing is finding a way to survive this stretch. Make sure you don't end up in this drop zone, because then that becomes very sketchy. Because, listen, the fixture schedule does not get easier here. We've been through it. It's a disaster. It's a disaster to say the least. It would obviously be much nicer if we had, a few good runs here, but they don't. They have Man United away, and then in the midweek it's Newcastle at home, Arsenal at home, Fulham away, and then Crystal Palace home in your next 5 matches. Absolute disaster. That is an absolute disaster 5-match run. You're going to need points here. Plain and simple, you need points. We'll get into that, though. Let's get into the player ratings from today. We start up top, as we always do. Dominic Solanke. It's going to be very easy to give him man of the match. A brace today. Again, back heel scorpion kick. I don't really know what else to say about that one. He is one of the reasons why Tottenham rescued a point today. So, great game from him. He gets a 9-1 today. Xavi Simons has a phenomenal day today. 8-7. He is finding his way more and more in this league. I am liking what I'm seeing. today was a really good day for him. I know there were some questions in the first half. I will not lie. He was very much redeemed by a very good second half. He ends up with an assist on Solanke's first goal. He did really well today, gets an 8-7. Kolo Muani gets a 6-3 today. He kind of just was nowhere to be found, it felt like. Just struggled to find him at points, and obviously that's kind of worrying. But again, he's a lone player, so it's not like they've invested a ton of money in him. But hey, we'll see how this works out. 6-3. Destiny Udogie gets a 7-2 today. Did decent on that, whatever you want to call this, left wing back type role. Did pretty decent 7-2. Yves Bissouma gets a 5-7. Not the best of days out in the midfield for him. He had a few costly turnovers. He kind of looked lost out there at some points. Just was not good at all from him. Gets a 5-7. Conor Gallagher gets a 8-2 today. He has the second assist on the Solanke Scorpion kick. Did very well. Liked what I saw from him today. Hopefully we get that kind of consistent performance from here on out. That would obviously be nice. We'll see what happens. But gets an 8-2 for today. Archie Gray playing that right wing back-ish type role today. Obviously it's not his normal position. Gets a 6-8 with everybody else injured. Somebody had to step up. He was the one to step up today. Gets a 6-8. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Radu Dragishin, 4-4. A disaster of a performance today from him. He was probably lucky that we don't have very much squad depth on the bench, because he probably would have been subbed off at some point, but we just don't have that depth right now. So he gets a 4-4. Christian Romero, like I said, got subbed off at half, so gets a 5-7. Wasn't the best game from him either today. Kind of got burned a few times by the Manchester City attack. Joao Paulinho, he was the third center back today. He did really well today, I thought. 7-7. Really liked what I saw from him. Again, he's not like the greatest player of all time, but he steps up when you need him. He did that today, earns a 7-7, liked what I saw. Vicario gets a 6-3. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Let's take a look at your subs. Pop Sarr came on at half for Christian Romero, earns a 7-1. Mathis Tell and Wilson Odeberg came on for Yves Bissouma and Kolo Muani. Tell gets a 6-6, Odeberg a 7-0. And then Byfield comes on for Solanke right before stoppage time, so doesn't get a grade here, but he did make his first Premier League appearance. So given that, again, Tottenham rescue a point. It is what it is. Like I said, the fixture list doesn't get easier. Tottenham Hotspur travel to Manchester now next Saturday. Early kickoff, 12:30 kickoff. Take on a resurgent Manchester United, a team that looks just very inspired by interim manager. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes full-time manager, Michael Carrick. I mean, they currently have 3 straight victories. It was a 2-0 win against City, 3-2 win against Woolwich Arsenal, and 3-2 victory against Fulham today. They're currently sitting in 4th on 41 points. It's wild that these two teams faced off in a European final not even 12 months ago, and the direction these two teams have gone in. You would think United won that game based on where they're going right now. They did not. It's going to be a very interesting game to see how this plays out next Saturday. We will be back here, of course, to recap it all here on Top of the Perch. So thank you so much for watching. If you just stumble across this video, quick like, quick subscribe, tell anybody you know about it. Obviously, we'll be back next Saturday to recap this Premier League fixture. Super Bowl preview coming this week here on the Nick Bird Sports Network with the Merrifield Sportsbook Show, and possibly some Olympic coverage coming too, as the 2026 Winter Olympics kick off from Milano Cortina on Friday, even though the events start on Wednesday. So thank you so much for watching, And we will see you back here on the Nick Bird Sports Network sometime soon for another episode of Top of the Perch.